Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to your final destination. Please remain seated with your seatbelts fastened until the seatbelt sign is off. Be careful when opening overhead bins as items may have shifted. If this is your final stop, thank you for flying with us. For those who have connected flights, check the monitors or ask the crew for help. We appreciate your business, and we hope to see you again. Welcome to your final destination.
Welcome to A Flight to Greatness continued, okay? I'm your girl, Hannah Ross. That's your boy,
Damon Gross.
And today we have an awesome special guest. We have Miss Nicole McIlwain today. Woo! Yes.
Hello.
Yes. How are you doing today?
I'm well. I won't complain.
Yes, ma'am. It's such a pleasure to have you.
Thank you so much.
Yes. If you do not know, Miss McIlwain is a compassionate licensed mental health therapist, entrepreneur, and CEO dedicated to breaking barriers in mental health care. As the founder of Black Mental Health Rocks, she advocates for mental health awareness and support in the African American community, particularly for single parents. Ms. McIlwain also leads Clear Your Mind mental health counseling services, providing accessible therapy for individuals, families, and groups. With over 15 years in the field, she specializes in trauma, anxiety, depression, and more, helping people to navigate life's challenges with resilience and care. So we just want to welcome Miss Nicole one more time.
Amazing.
Thank you.
Yes.
So honored.
Yes. So we are basically picking up where we left off.
Yes.
We recently just had an event called A Flight to Greatness. Demai, you want to tell us about that?
A Flight to Greatness, the first annual Flight to Greatness was a success. So many people came out and supported. I know y'all seen us on the news. They came through. I'm just more than grateful. Yeah. It was amazing. A Flight to Greatness basically is an event, and we have a parallel metaphoric meaning behind it. So we connect life challenges, facing unexpected delays, turbulence, and things like that, to taking an actual flight and how we can connect that to entrepreneurship. Yes. So A Flight to Greatness, we are all on our way to greatness. We're going to experience some things, but we got to make sure we keep pushing and see our flight all the way through. So that's a little bit about A Flight to Greatness. And we're getting ready for our podcast. We're here and we're moving. So
we back.
Yes.
Okay. We wanted to take Ms. Nicole on the flight today. Okay. We wanted her to be our co-pilot, I think we should say, on today. So we're going to be able to ask her a plethora of questions just to understand her journey, so we can relate with each other and know that we all have a story. Yeah. This is not the end if you're in the season, okay? Because there's a story, okay? Right. So let's see. Are we ready to start?
Yeah, you ready? Ready for your flight?
Ready to take off?
Let me buckle my seatbelt.
We got oxygen mask right here. We got the O2 God has provided, okay? We got the exit doors, okay? Right here. All right? That's all I got right now, okay? So let's start with where did you come from? Were you born in Buffalo, New York? Is that where you?
I was born and raised in Buffalo. On the Lower East Side of Buffalo. Yes. Actually, between the downtown area and the uptown area, because my grandparents lived downtown, and my aunt, which was like a grandmother, she lived in the uptown area. Yeah. So I had the best of both worlds, I would say.
Okay. So she wasn't far, y'all. Okay.
East Side.
Okay. In a minute. But how was life for you growing up?
Life for me growing up, I would say, was a blessing.
Yeah.
In spite of, it was a blessing. I did experience many different facets of life, some good, some bad. But life for me growing up, it was a lot.
Yeah.
It was a lot.
Yeah. Yes. It's no easy thing.
No.
Okay.
Some challenges was conscious, some was unconscious.
Right.
But I made it.
Yeah.
But you're here.
Yes, I made it.
So, do you think your childhood and your upbringing plays a role and factor in your drive and where you're going? Because obviously, I know you specialize in the mental health field. So what even made you want to go down that direction? Did that have to do with your childhood and your upbringing? And if so, can you talk a little bit about that?
Definitely. I've always been the type of child from a small age. If it was sharing my baby dolls, making easy bake ovens,
Yeah.
I always wanted someone. I always was a person who wanted to share, who wanted to help. Obviously, from various experiences in my life, I did become a single parent of 4 children by the time I was 19 years old. At the age of 15, I had twin sons the day after my birthday. Actually, I turned 15. And thereafter, early after, both me and my twins were out on our own.
Right.
So like I said, by the time I was 19, I had 4 children, 2 boys first, then my 2 daughters. When I had my 2 daughters, it was like, you want to make, I think it's time that you make some changes.
Yeah.
And I don't know, for whatever reason, you just assume that the boys are boys, so they're strong,
Right.
they can endure different things. But the girls, it was like, absolutely not. I have to do something.
Yeah.
And that's when I decided to pursue an education. At the time that I decided to pursue my education, I really didn't know that I would land in mental health.
Right.
I actually thought I wanted to be a nurse until I realized that I had to dissect a pig or a cat, anatomy. That wasn't for me. So I'm like, okay, what other area of the healthcare system can I work in?
Right.
And so I chose psychology. And even with choosing psychology, so now at this point, well, let me backtrack a little, because when I started in school, I had to start with a general studies.
Yeah.
And after getting my first degree, I'll never forget that, in 2003, when I got my first degree, it was like walking on a cloud across the stage.
Yeah.
And I heard so many people screaming my name.
Wow.
But it wasn't my name, Nicole. It was my nickname. And you all know what my nickname is. That's been Cozy's been my nickname since I was 2 days old. So I heard a lot of that out. And so it was like they know you. Like they really know you. And so that gave me the drive to want to continue and go further and pursue my education. So I did. And I started off in psychology. In psychology, applying all those different theories, is inevitable that you apply it to your own personal self, your own personal life, family, parenting style. And I was like, oh God, what have I done? So I didn't want to do psychology any longer. So I changed my major to social work. And so social work was pretty healthy.
Yeah.
It showed me that with the right linkages, referring, monitoring, being linked to the right systems, no matter what the trauma was, you can overcome.
Yeah.
So as a single mother of 4 children, working full time and going to school full time, my GPA wasn't that high. I think I had like a 2.6. So when everyone was ready to graduate with their bachelor's, they were going to UB for the social work program. And Miss Nicole had to stay back. I couldn't go to that program. I needed to take 3 more classes in order to matriculate and pull my grades up to go over to UB. So I said, if I'm going to take 3 more classes, I might as well take 6 more classes, pull up my GPA, and get a master's degree.
That's good. Okay.
So I got my first master's degree in human service administration.
How old were you?
How old was I? I don't know my age. Okay, well, I got my first master's degree in 2006.
Wow.
And I was born in 1978. So y'all can do the math.
Do the math. Do the math.
So yeah, I got my first degree and in human service administration, my master's degree. But then at that point, now that my GPA is up there, I didn't want to do social work.
Oh,
anymore.
wow.
I had took so many master level, high level courses that
Mhm.
I didn't want to do social work anymore.
Right.
And that's when I noticed the program at Madai for mental health counseling. And I was like, I want to go for mental health counseling. I want to identify with the underlying issues and concerns and things of that nature. So I went and I applied in 2000 and I want to say 2007. I applied. By 2008, I was in the program. And by 2010, I then had a master's in mental health counseling.
That's good.
So after that, I started to work in the field as a senior case manager. I did that for a couple years. But the entire time that I was in school raising children, before I transitioned to work into my field, I worked in collections.
Okay.
And getting a bonus check and a paycheck, it was different as a senior case manager because it was actually like taking a pay cut.
Right.
It was actually like taking a pay cut. So shortly after that, I worked in the field for a couple of years. And then, you know, when you get elevated into certain areas of life, you have to identify with the people, places, and things that can't come with you.
Yeah.
And sometimes if you don't identify with those people, they'll hold you back. But you can't blame.
Yeah.
You can't blame anybody. Because at the end of the day, we all know right from wrong. So I chose the wrong route. And I stagnated myself. I stagnated myself.
Let me jump in.
Okay.
So you actually done jumped into our next category.
You
Okay.
flowing.
You
She's
good. You
awesome
good. You're on time.
Okay.
Yes, for sure. We in the right direction because we actually talk about later on, but since we're here, we're gonna go there. But
Okay.
Unexpected delays, right?
Right.
We're gonna talk about that right after we come back from this commercial. Okay.
Okay.
Menthol is not just a flavor. It's a manipulative way for big tobacco to target, attract, and addict Black Americans. Tobacco companies aggressively market menthol products using elements of Black culture, putting more products on shelves in Black communities, and making them cheaper. And it's not just an injustice, it's killing us. Smoking-related illnesses are the #1 cause of death in the African American community. Help us fight this injustice at notjustmenthol.org.
All right, we are back from your break. Listen, I know y'all was like, what y'all doing? It's getting good. But we back. So we were talking about unexpected. We're talking about things that cannot go with you on your flight to greatness. That's actually one of our categories. We know when you're on a plane, you're going through TSA. There's some things that you cannot take with you because they may be a hindrance. It may not be in the rules, regulations, whatever. It can't go where you're going. So what, if you don't mind, what are some things that you had to let go on your journey to greatness?
Making good choices, basically. Not jeopardizing yourself in any type of way.
Yeah.
Your freedom, your safety,
Yeah.
your family, you know. But sometimes you stagnated because the people that, or the things that cause you to kind of regress is the things that's so close to you.
Yeah.
Right.
That's good.
So it's hard. It's hard until you get into a position.
Yeah.
And so for me, you know, some people always like to tell all of the good things, everything that's good.
Right.
I'm totally transparent and I'm real.
Yeah.
For
You
sure.
see?
For sure.
So, in the midst of all those degrees and all of those children, I became a convicted felon. I became a convicted felon.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't go to jail or anything like that.
Right.
Like do jail time, but I got arrested, and I became a convicted felon. So now those degrees don't mean nothing.
Oh, wow.
To all that hard work, but that don't mean anything.
Wow.
Yes.
she did, oh, I knew nothing was there. All those kids, why would she do,
Right.
And so, of course, I beat myself up internally, mentally. Why wouldn't you?
Mm-hmm.
You work hard for those accomplishments, and they're not easy accomplishments.
Right.
But I said, okay, Lord, because I was, I always, no matter what, I have always depended on God to keep me, push me through in whatever season. So, okay, you have to be accountable for your poor choices.
Right.
And I was. So at that point, now I have to go back to collections. Because nobody in the field of social work or mental health is hiring you with a felony. But I said, if I'm going to go back to work, I'm going to go back to work for myself. So I started my own business.
Wow. Yes, ma'am.
And I operated my own business from 2012 until current date. And in 2018, the business wasn't doing that well. And I knew that I had to go out and explore more resources for me to survive.
Right.
And it was hell on wheels. People just closing doors in my face left and right. That bachelor's and them 2 masters, they didn't mean nothing. They didn't mean nothing. But by God's grace and mercy, I had a certificate of disability. And just when I was ready to give up, somebody hired me. And I got a job. And that was actually in 2019.
That's cool. That's what's up.
And so from 2019 to 2021, I had to do my supervision hours, which in order for you to get your license in New York State as a mental health therapist, you have to do 1,500 hours supervised, 1,500 hours unsupervised. So I did that. I completed it. In April of 2022, April 5th of 2022, I believe, I went to take the New York State exam. Failed by 4 points. Cried like a baby, honestly. And I drove to Pennsylvania to take the exam, had a self-care day in the spa, studying, was all over. I think I put too much into it. That's why I failed by 4 points.
You really passed, okay?
Right.
For real.
So I said, okay, my birthday is in May. I'm a big birthday brat. Anybody know me? I'm a birthday brat. And so just go ahead, relax, enjoy your birthday, and go back at it when the summer is almost over. So from August to September 15th, I locked in. I didn't study after the 15th, but I locked in. I mean, my grandkids was at my door because they still didn't understand. Nana can't babysit because I'm studying. They didn't understand that. So they would be at my door with my tea, my cheese crackers, making sure I'm okay and this, that, and the third. Because they was very excited because when I took the exam the first time, Nana, did you pass? Did you pass?
Right.
So on September 17th, I took it down a notch. I took the exam here, threw me on some sweats and a hoodie, and went in Gettsville to take it. Right, not too far from me. Just drive, and I passed it. Wow. And the funny part about it, when I was in there taking the exam, you have earphones on, and you're like under a bubble. They're watching you.
Right.
And it's a high profile exam, like a bar exam.
Yeah.
And the lady afterwards was like, I'm so happy you passed. She said, only thing I heard you saying was Jesus.
I know that.
God. But it was like, it was unconsciously coming out because I'm like, is it Jesus? God. Okay, And so I winded up passing it. So as of September of 2022, I passed the exam. By April 14th of 2023, I actually received my certificate with that date and everything on it, and that's the certificate that I would have for my to show whenever I need it and stuff like that. So
That's
Congratulations.
beautiful. Oh my gosh, y'all.
thank you.
What? Oh my gosh, congratulations, because I know it was work.
Yeah.
And you put in the work twice.
Yes.
Well, really more than that, but to just lock in and focus on that exam to get where you are. So it's okay to try it again.
Absolutely.
Okay, talking to myself at the moment, it's okay to try again.
It's okay.
Absolutely.
Okay.
It's okay.
So let's see.
I think because we're here, like, because you obviously have experienced a lot of turbulence on your journey. A lot of the road was bumpy, but you got here.
Absolutely.
So when you're facing turbulence, when you're facing obstacles, what is your mindset when you see another obstacle, and things like that?
I love that question, Damon, because my mindset is to clear it.
Yeah.
And that's where the name of my private practice comes from.
Wow.
Clear your mind, mental health counseling. You can't do anything. You can't restart without a clear mind.
Wow.
Sometimes we stay stuck in things, you know, especially when you're humiliated and like know that you done screwed up and you like, but you have to clear it.
Yeah.
You know, so for me, that's what I do. Like, okay, what I'm gonna do? Like, go through the power walk, go through I'm a happy-go-lucky type of person, so I can only stay down so long.
Right.
I can only stay upset for so long. You know, I'm a crack a joke, or that's just who my personality is.
Yeah.
So just basically just clearing the slate and restarting and continuing to believe in you. Like if I would have believed in everybody else, in the outside world, the naysayers, I wouldn't be where I'm at right now because you messed that up. It's no way that you can overcome that. You know, the first time that the doors was closed, I could have said, you know what, this ain't for me. I know I'm not gonna, but I kept getting them closed. And even when I felt like I wasn't gonna push, I wasn't gonna try. I remember talking to my mother and I was crying, and it was a weekend, it was a Friday, and it was in the month of May, and I was laying on the couch. I had cupcakes, fruit snacks. I'm binge eating. I'm stressed out, and I'm like, Mom, I'm not going to apply for another job. I had just got my hair done, bright red, and CAO calls me. Would you like to come in for an interview? I'm not even thinking that I got to wear this red hair off first. I'm like, yeah, I come Monday. I could be there Monday. Then I look in the mirror like, what you gonna go in there with this red hair? Well, why can't I be myself? Like,
that's good.
But I bet you I took the red hair out. I took the red hair out too, and the same testimony that I'm giving right now, I gave to them. And because they want to know, you know, why you're in that position, and so I got the job.
Wow, that is beautiful. She said first you can't do anything with a cluttered mind, okay? So she had to clear her mind, and she went through this hump where I'm about to binge eat in this hump, but at the same time God was still working.
Yes, He was.
You know, she got a phone call, and she's like, all right, I'm gonna get myself together, and we about to move forward. So with that being said, we're about to go to commercial break. This is an awesome discussion, awesome conversation. So we hope you stay tuned. This is so awesome. Continue to fly with us, okay?
Yes.
All right, we'll be right back.
Menthol is not just a flavor. It's a manipulative way for big tobacco to target, attract, and addict Black Americans. Tobacco companies aggressively market menthol products using elements of Black culture, putting more products on shelves in Black communities and making them cheaper. And it's not just an injustice, it's killing us. Smoking-related illnesses are the #1 cause of death in the African American community. Help us fight this injustice at notjustmenthol.org.
And we are back. We are having such a great discussion. It's such a great flight with Miss Nicole. She is the owner of non-for-profit Clear Your Mind Mental Health. Oh, sorry. What you the owner of?
So Clear Your Mind Mental Health Counseling is a for-profit organization that will be launched on May 9th, which is my birthday. I am also the CEO and founder of Black Mental Health Rocks, which is a non-for-profit organization that supports our African American community, because statistically, that community struggles in regard to identifying with our mental health.
That's good.
So because, I am an African American single parent, and I do know the different struggles that can come with being an African American single parent, I did want to give back to that community, whether it's a mother, a father, a grandmother, a foster parent, and provide psychoeducation on different topics that single parents may struggle with, along with implementing self-care and mindfulness strategies to help manage the various challenges as single parents, so that we can uplift our children and so that they're not exposed to the things that we struggle with as single parents.
That's amazing. I love what you're doing, the movement, the things that you're pushing out into the community. I want to rewind really quick. So we know on a flight and just success, you got first class, you got economy, you got the people sitting in the back, right? Now we know with success, there's levels to success, right? And you mentioned something. You said that you had red hair, but you knew you could not go to that interview with that red hair. So can you elaborate a little bit on why you didn't feel comfortable with going into, that corporate environment with that type of hair, and just how our people need to know how important professionalism is on our flights?
I believe that professionalism is very important. It's unfortunate that, some people identify with what your outside appearance is, but that's just the reality of it. Right. And if you want to feel safe and secure with putting me in a position, my outside appearance and how I promote myself has to be top tier.
Right.
So I felt like at the time, coming in already with the background, then coming in with the red hair, I just didn't feel like that was the right way to promote myself in the leadership role that I was applying for. So I felt like, it was best. And I don't think that even thereafter I wore like a bright red. I might do some streaks or something like that to be fun, because I like fashion. But I just think like for introduction, that wasn't appropriate.
Yeah, that's good, because your first appearance, it means everything.
Absolutely.
So how you walk in, some people may tell you to turn around before you even get the opportunity to open up your mouth.
Absolutely.
So you want to show up, you want to make sure that you're showing up how you want to be presented, and make sure you want to be taken serious.
Absolutely.
Right. So we have a few questions. We know you have a few events coming up. Please tell us a little bit about that. Tell the people what do you have going on, how they can support the dates and everything.
Yes.
Okay. So I'll start off with the non-for-profit, which is open to the community.
Okay.
Even if it's statistically the African American community struggles.
Yes.
But for any community that's struggling, you are welcome. Yeah. You can visit www.blackmentalhealthrocks.org. At that time, you can register on Eventbrite. We offer monthly workshops every first Monday of each month to start your month off. During the workshops, we do engagement activities where we do a lot of scaling activities together. We have free food, free raffles. Every person that participates gets a free gift for the first time that you come. And in the summertime, we'll be doing activities outside, whereas we will also include the children. But primarily, I wanted this to be a workshop in a space for the parents, so that you can get the support that you need in order to help you uplift and include that mindful piece, and even be able to adhere to any type of self-care. So that's the purpose of Black Mental Health Rocks. In regard to Clear Your Mind, that is the for-profit private practice that is also open to the community depending upon what insurance you have. We are currently approved with Medicare, Medicaid, Fidelis, Independent Health, United Healthcare, Aetna, and a few other ones. I don't have it offhand. The website will be launching for that soon. And the website will launch for that soon. on my birthday, actually, I'll be cutting the ribbon at the new location, which is 3685 Harlem. And I'm just so slowly growing.
Yes.
But I am currently a part of Mobile Counseling of New York.
Okay.
Mobile Counseling of New York is a entity which is also a private practice that has basically guided me to where I am today, showing me the importance of, not sitting in the office space and being able to go into the community and provide mental health and meet individuals where they are.
Yes.
That is currently the company that I work with as an independent consultant, and I will continue to work with that company, although I do have a lot of other things going on. And that company also has a lot of different clinicians that can be helpful in various areas: trauma, depression, anxiety. A lot of clinicians are EMDR trained, so it's just a lot of different resources that we offer.
Yes.
And they're also located in downtown Buffalo. So, like I said, I do know that in our African American community, one of the barriers that we struggle with is the cultural incompetencies, and sometimes certain cultures seeming like we can't identify with the barriers that they've gone through.
Right.
So I'm just trying to be a vessel of nourishment and a reassurance that with the right mind frame, we can work through these challenges of mental health, overcome the stigma of mental health, normalize the conversations about mental health, and focus on it just as we focus on our physical health, so that we can avoid toxic outcomes when working through challenging circumstances.
That is amazing. That is amazing. We love what you're doing in the community. We know you have the single mother workshop. Just everything that you're doing is so amazing. Our community needs it. We appreciate you, and we're just so glad.
And one more thing.
Yes.
The next workshop is April 7th.
April 7th.
And that will be at the Delavan Grider Center.
Okay.
And that starts at 6:30 to 8 o'clock. Then on April the 12th, we're linked with the Office of Mental Health.
Okay.
We will be providing a workshop where you can receive a first aid mental health certificate. We will provide breakfast and lunch, and the training is from 9 until 3 p.m. at the Martha Mitchell Center in Buffalo, New York.
That's amazing.
That's
That is
awesome.
amazing.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
She is giving right back to where she was. Giving right back to the single mothers who may be just trying to navigate. She's creating a space for you, okay? I see her events get posted, and I'm like, I'm not even a mom, and I want to come. And I live around the corner, so you're going to see me in a minute, okay? So totally just however you may need any of these resources she has provided a plethora. All you have to do is rewind, okay, if you need help. And provide your website one more time, my dear.
www.blackmentalhealthrocks.org.
And where can they find you on social media?
Nicole McIlwain, LMHC on Facebook and Instagram. And I'm trying to learn how to work TikTok.
Amen. She coming, okay, y'all?
We're going to help her. We're going to get her together.
Yes.
I would say one more thing.
Yes.
One more question is, if you could leave one key message with the audience about their journey, what would it be?
Never give up on yourself.
Yes.
Never be down on yourself. But, good people sometimes make bad choices. Be accountable for them and try not to make those same bad choices and continue to push yourself. Sometimes you have to learn how to encourage yourself.
Yes.
That's good.
That's
Good people sometimes make bad choices.
choices.
Don't allow your choices and your mistakes to define who you are. That's
Absolutely.
Every day you wake up, that's a new start. That's a new beginning.
Absolutely.
Listen,
Absolutely.
we thank you all so much for joining. We landed safely.
We
pushed
safely,
through.
y'all.
We thank you, Nicole, for just coming out and joining and just pouring on our platform. We appreciate you. We'll definitely be supporting you, and we thank you so much.
Thank
I'm
you.
so honored, guys.
Yes.
I really am.
Yes.
A flight to greatness landed.
Let's go.
See you next time, y'all.
Menthol is not just a flavor. It's a manipulative way for big tobacco to target, attract, and addict Black Americans. Tobacco companies aggressively market menthol products using elements of Black culture, putting more products on shelves in Black communities and making them cheaper. And it's not just an injustice, it's killing us. Smoking-related illnesses are the #1 cause of death in the African American community. Help us fight this injustice at notjustmenthol.org.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to your final destination. Please remain seated with your seatbelts fastened until the seatbelt sign is off. Be careful when opening overhead bins as items may have shifted. If this is your final stop, thank you for flying with us. For those who have connected flights, check the monitors or ask the crew for help. We appreciate your business and we hope to see you again. Welcome to your final destination.